Welcome, Kerbonauts, to a Kerbal video. Yes, I'm going to do a Kerbal video on mods, as you saw by the title. Today, I'm going to be showing you some mods. Now, the first one you should see, pretty damn easy, presuming is literally on the screen right now. And this mod is called the Renaissance Pack mod. Now, this is indeed, as I said, a pack. So, obviously, this may not count individually as a mod, but I thought I would include it anyway, just because it makes the game look so damn better. Just a slight warning, this will kill off your computer if it isn't a decent half computer. My computer isn't brilliant, but it can still run it pretty damn well. Actually, I run it at about 120 frames per second with all of this on full. Bear that in mind. So, what this mod includes is many mods. It includes, as you can see, Kerbal Clouds. If we go over to Kerbin, you will see clouds. It seems to look better when you zoom out a little bit, like up there. If we actually move over to Thor 1, which I have in a tactical position around the planet. I managed to get in this position, as I will show you in a mod soon. It does indeed have night lights, so yes, now Kerbin gets lit up. It also redesigns pretty much most, if not all, of the parts. So as you can see, we have the Gigantor XL solar arrays. All of them are like different. Some of the engines look different. So you see lighting patterns, still roughly the same. But most stuff actually has had a good old texture overhaul. This is mainly textures. As you can see in the sky, the amount of stars has been vastly, like, just freaking increased. It's pretty much just deafening. As you can see, also the sun now actually generally looks like the sun and doesn't look like some kind of orange burning ball, which technically it is. But as you can see, this mod just makes the flaming game just look that damn beautiful. I can't see why you wouldn't want it if you can run it. And note to the fact that I said if you can run it, because it isn't the easiest thing to run. So, as you can see, the sun now has some more gas effects on it. It definitely looks a lot more hot and deadly. If we move over to Moho, as you can see, it now has a radiation kind of layer of it, of the bright hot emittance from the sun. As you can see, it is very close. Get your sunglasses ready. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure every kind of planet / moon has had a little texture overhaul and parts added to it. As you can see, it has some nice effects on it there. If we move over to Eve, as you see, it looks very nice. If we just quickly accelerate a little bit on time. As you can see, all the clouds itself all move differently. You can kind of see some of the lakes there, the radiational lakes. You can see the top there, nice thick atmosphere. You can also see that. If we move over to Gilly, it pretty much still looks the same. Kind of colours have been changed on it a little bit, which is kind of nice. And now, obviously, we've seen Kerbin. This is what the Mun looks like. It definitely looks a lot more craterish. It's kind of had its textures revamped. Now, if you're used to older mods, this used to be kind of more of a universe replacer mod, this kind of thing. There is also one called Texture Replacer mod that comes with it. There are a bunch of stuff like Boulder Code, which adds Cloud, City of Lights effects. I won't go through each one individually. There's kind of a list in there, so you can also choose specific ones if you want. As you see, Minmus hasn't had too much of an overhaul. It still looks pretty damn similar, but then again, you can't really do a lot to that. As you can see, kind of just a little bit more high def in areas, and other than that, that's it. If we go over to Duna, we'll notice that it still looks exactly the same. There is a way to get clouds on it, but for whatever reason on my version the clouds don't show up. However, we do have an Aurora. Yes. Look at that. Damn. On each side of the poles you now have an Aurora, which is nice. The Aurora being it's something to do with the electromagnetic field and light from the sun passing over. Something like that. I don't know the exact reason why auroras are done. Someone can fill in on that. But as you can see, Ike, that's fairly similar. A lot of these haven't really been fully changed, they've just been more crisped. Especially when you land on them. They sometimes look different. Bear in mind, some don't. Dry still looks like Ike. And then if we go to Jewel, there's one big noticeable effect. It now has rings. Yes, these are proper rings, as in you can get into them. Proper get into them. which is really cool because you can fly over them. As you can see, Jewel has had a nice makeup. It now really does look quite nice and green. It also has an Aurora on the top. It also has one on the bottom. It's kind of like nice, pretty colours as well, which is nice. I think Kerbin has one, but I didn't want to ruin it because I wanted to have something for Jewel. Let's put that, make sure it's normal time, good. Here we have Lath, looking very, very National Geographic indeed. As you can see, it's got the nice planet shine to it, the shimmer, the clouds, all the details, all the bells and whistles are chucked onto that for your enjoyment. It also has an Aurora, which is always nice to know. If we tab over to Val, Val looks pretty much the same as normal. I don't normally go to these planets, so I wouldn't notice too much on these. Tylo, as you can see, it's kind of had a bit more of a colour change in a way. It's kind of, I don't know, last time I saw it was like black and grey, so in my opinion now it's a bit browner. As you can see, it's definitely a lot more high definition. As I said, all of these have been more high def. Bop still looks like a kind of like a brown ball of goop. Nothing much there. Pole's kind of like a nice, interesting colour. It's kind of been a bit dulled down, I think, in the colour. I think it's a bit more green now. I don't know, as I said, as I don't normally go to the Jewel. We have Elu. Elu has been slightly reconstructed for a high definition kind of like map. It kind of looks definitely a lot better. So obviously now we move over to Thor 1. As you can see, Kerbin has its little lights. So let's move over back to Jebediah, shall we? That's not Jebediah. Hold on. So we are now back as Jebediah. As you can see, the planet surface hasn't had much of a change, but definitely up there it starts to look a bit better. I'll shut up, other mod. As you can see, now in the visor, it now pretty much reflects, which is kind of a nice little addition. But if you do indeed look at the sun, you can see the golden visor and good old Jeb in there. The suit has had a little bit of a redesign. They look a little bit more high definition, look a bit more swanky. So if we go load him back up into his little rocket, I guess, landing module, we will show you, me and Jeb, some new fresh textures. As you can see, the bottom landing legs, they've pretty much all been revamped. I'll show you the vehicle assembly building in a minute. Once Jebediah decides to get his ass back up here. As you can see, that's another mod. I shall show you that off later. As you see, the Gigantors have had a bit of a remake. The capsule is a little bit more simplistic now. It definitely looks a lot more like a capsule, not some kind of laboratory. So if we go to the Space Center, of course, there's no mod for increasing loading times or decreasing them for that matter. So sadly, we still have to wait a little bit for that. But you'll see another mod. I shall, as you see, it pretty much it adds more static environments around the whole of the Kerbal. Well, pretty much just Kerbin itself. It is called the Launch Site Selector Mod. Well, I don't know if that's its actual name, but that's what I call it anyway, and that's what I remember it by. Pretty much what you have in here is you now have the ability to change where you launch from. Yes, the best idea I've ever could have been added in the game. I don't see why this isn't actually something that's already in the game, or maybe they've got it planned, I don't know. But as you can see, you can choose all sorts of different little launch sites. There's ones that are on like the little rocket transporter, the original launch pad, the old Kerbal Space Center, including the old launch towers there. You now have Mount Snowy. You can launch from different ones. You can launch from the kind of like South Pole Research Facility, which is nice. You can do sort of loads of little bits. That's more kind of like in a basin of a mountain range, which is kind of nice. As you see, you have all the ones there. That one's in the sea. That one, in my own opinion, is my favourite one. But anyway, let's get to the next mod, which is the Kerbal Selector Mod, or the Kerbal filter, part filter thingy. But what this allows you to do is filter by mods. Yes, you're going to see a lot in here. By the way, I do have a lot of mods which I'm going to be showing today. Let's just turn off them. Actually, no, that one is just the one that comes with the Renaissance pack, I think. It just reduces the clamp sound, so it just goes brrr all the time. This on here, you can do lots of filtering, so you can filter different uses. So one's for getting asteroids, one's to animate heat, one's for Kerbal seats, launch clamps, whatever you want. They're all there, SAS modules, and basically it'll kind of like put it so like the one with the most. Same with light. The best light will come first, and then the second, third, fourth, whatever. That's also by sort, which you can do that. So you can do it wet mass, dry mass, name, manufacturer, size, or just the default. But anyway, let's have a little look, shall we? So we're going to build a rocket, and then what's this? The next mod. Yes, I do have quite a few mods. This one's more of a helpful mod, which I would recommend if you want to try and do Kerbal at least slightly seriously. And this is the Kerbal Engineer Redux mod. Now basically what this allows you to do is have like a big count of everything that you need to know about your rocket. So the specific impulse value, the thrust to weight ratio max, that's your max thrust, the delta V, burn, mass, costs, and parts. So obviously, the best thing to do is to make a rocket, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I've built myself a little rocket / use the one that I made earlier. I can be asked to make a new one, why not? Anyway, this is a good model. By the way, if you want a good model, this can get you to the moon and back if you maximize all the use of its delta V. Now, as you can see, it's now filled up the chart. So as you can see, it's now got the final cost. Which is, well, it says it down here, but in case you just want to see the cost of each stage, and you may. It also tells you how many parts is in each one of them. It also then tells you the mass, and then as it adds up, so it says 5,000. It also tells you the specific impulse value for each stage, which is really good. So you can use that then to work out the delta V of the rocket. But then again, you don't need to work out the delta V of the rocket because you already have it. This is the delta V section. I say altogether we have 9,805 meters per second delta V, which is really good. That means you can burn for about 3 minutes and 50 seconds altogether within the whole rocket, which is actually a pretty good kind of like time. As you can see, you can also do different things, so you can set like different velocities, what different things do, different pressures, see how all the numbers change, see the more that goes up. Actually, no, that one doesn't really change anything, I've just noticed, but as the air pressure goes down, the specific impulse value goes up, and therefore ups the delta V, because obviously there's less acting, it's just easier. Obviously the higher up you are, the more fuel efficient you are, so therefore that is how that works. So see, it then goes from being 2 minutes to 56 seconds to 3 minutes and 50 seconds. So really it's up to you. I tend to leave it on that because that's the majority, or I have it on like 10%, because really it's only about 10 to 15% of the flight you're probably inside the atmosphere, unless you are going somewhere like Juno or you're doing like rovers. Which brings us to the next part of this mod, which is indeed these little things. If I just go and filter it on, you see now this is really useful because you may have quite a lot of things, right? You may have a lot of mods, and usually the one thing that puts me off having a lot of mods is the fact that I've got to then have a load of parts that I've then got to sort through in order to find the normal parts. However, that's not a problem now because of that, which is good. Basically, these are the different engineering systems. These actually just add this on so you can have it in the flight, which is pretty damn useful. Okay, so now I'm ready to launch. Pretty much you can select one on here. We're going to go from the Ocean Odyssey platform. Now if I can make one recommendation, if you're going to the moon, make sure you launch from the launch pad, because it's dead on the equator, and that one then you have to play and sort out all the inclination changes. That one's just the most fuel efficient way. However, for this, I just want to get in orbit, or maybe not even that, just show you it. So let's save and let's go launch. Just got to wait for it to load up. As I said, there isn't actually a mod which reduces loading time, so therefore you might just have to, wait. Just remember though, the more mods you use, the more memory it takes up. And I don't mean hard disk. I don't mean, oh well, I've got 2 terabytes. I mean just generalized PC memory. Whoa, what the hell's happened? Okay, that didn't happen before. Just wait for it just to stabilize. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. As you can see, we are now on a Kerbal platform, which is really useful. I love this place just because it looks so damn good. You can actually take off from that because there's also helipads. If you use the space plane hangar, you have different places you can take off as well, including water runways and boats. As you see, there's actually proper volumetric clouds and just general clouds, which is really, really nice. As you can see, The textural place is taking hold here with Bill Kerman. He now has a moustache, and the Renaissance completion pack, or whatever you call it, also adds the advanced nav ball, which basically just kind of adds extra parts onto a nav ball if that's really what you want in your Kerbal modding experience. Now, you may hear some stuff going on in the background and wind noises. That is the Chatterer mod. The Chatterer mod is extremely cool, and I'm not just saying that just because it's just Chatterer. It's because it actually makes the game sound pretty cool. Like, you have mission control talking and everything through it, which is really nice. I like that a lot. You then also have the beeps, so you can make it beep every 60 seconds. Bear in mind, this might get a little bit annoying. There you go. Every 10 seconds there'll be 3 beeps. But I didn't realise, but actually there are a ton of different things you can do. You can just make them, like all the filters you can set as, you got all of this stuff. You got all the Chatterer sets, you got all the beep sets, you can change all the beeps, all the filters for the beeps for the filters. You can add an extra stage so if you want that. And I want, I don't know. So if I wanted it to do a short bleep every 2 seconds. Or well, I think you can make it loop like that. Up to you. I tend to have it like something like every 2 seconds, and I always tend to. That's really useful. So anyway, let's get on and let's launch this rocket. So as you can see, you can choose loads of different places. We are currently up in the little circle area. I'm not too sure what in Kerbal geology this is classed as, but you can indeed also. Hold on, let me turn them off. Sometimes they get a bit annoying when you're talking or commentating. But as you see, you heard what they do. The Quindor volume, I think, is the thing that goes near. But anyway, you do indeed have the Kerbal Engineer, which you can indeed access just by turning different things on. If you kind of like show Engineer, it comes up with loads of information. You can have information as well at the top, like the different HUDs. They're sometimes useful just to have up, just because it tells you stuff like apoapse times and all that good stuff. So anyway, let's launch in 3, 2, 1, go. As you can see, this is a fairly simple rocket. I really do find it's a good design, pretty much, because it's quite powerful. As you can see, we've already got 150 meters per second. You can afford to throttle back a bit on the middle engine, so that'll have some extra fuel. It'll also stop it from overheating. This is just a generalized feature, by the way, the source limiter. This isn't a mod at all. And as you can see here that our apoapse height is going up. Periapse height is just staying the same, that's because we're not going up into orbit yet. It also tells you time to periapse and time to apoapse, your inclination, the orbital eccentricity, which is pretty much how kind of like circle or, you know, wibbly shaped your orbit is. The semi-major axis, the angle to prograde and the angle to retrograde, the current sphere of influence. It also tells you that. The different delta V's as well you have left. Mass, it'll also tell you that. Your thrust to weight ratio on the surface, acceleration, suicide burn distance, and all that good stuff. Also amount of speed you'll need if you wish to do a suicide burn. Now currently I'm going to throttle down the middle engine completely until I need to. As you can see, as I said, this is a brilliant rocket. This isn't a modded rocket, by the way, apart from these. These are the... Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, Christ, that was close. These are the Procedural Fairings mod. I will show you that in a minute in the Kerbal, kind of like laboratory, shall I say, or vehicle assembly building, where I get to build my next rocket, which will use another mod. But pretty much these just add little fairings, which make it look very, very neat. I've used this loads of times just because it's so much better in my opinion. I much more prefer to have it on. But let's start to turn a little bit. We're going to go up. Because remember, we are indeed at a different location. If it makes you feel better, we'll go this way, which will make you feel like you're in the normal launching, taking off position. As you can see, it is, it's pretty cool. I really do like this one mod because it's just so cool. Like, you can take off from the North Pole, you can just do land speed records. I could only do my land speed record challenge because of that. Because then I could spawn in the North Pole and just have flat land everywhere. Anyway, let's accelerate a little bit. Let's start to accelerate along the axis to keep us there. Then we're going to wait until we get above the atmosphere, or until more, shall I say, the prograde marker moves towards us. As you can see, the moon's right there. If we wanted to, we could go straight for the moon right now, but we're not going to probably bother to, so that'll just take way too long. As you can see, the apoapse is increasing slightly, and the periapse also, that should be coming down. That's good, or well, up technically, but yeah, the numbers should be going down. As you can see, it's moving along. The prograde marker's moving towards us more, which is always good. And honestly, if you want the best kind of like distance to look at the Earth or Kerbin, I'd recommend around here, just because it makes it just look really nice. You still get all the planet shine, but then you can also see all the details. The only problem, because this is a sandbox game and everything is enlarged to about 5 bajillion %, because it's Kerbal Space Program, and that's just the way it is. Obviously, they can't make the textures too good up close, otherwise, honestly, your computer would just explode, no matter how good it is. Oh god, that's not good. But no need to worry. Off come the procedural fairings, and now comes the next stage, shall I say. But in this mod, there's also the Hot Rockets mod. The keen-eyed among you would have seen this and possibly known this. Pretty much it just changes up the effects, like Xenon engines give off like a little bit. Kind of like give off different effects. The plasma rockets, or the nuclear rockets, give off better plasma effects, which is a really nice touch. I like that. As you can see, as we're moving along, there's the KWR mod, which adds extra parts, but I'll be showing you that in a minuto. As you can see, no need to check the map. We can check our periapse height until it is around 100,000. I was going to say 800,000 then. Probably not. We could just go straight to the moon. Should we go straight to the moon? Why not? Let's fly like a sir. Actually, no, let's not. Ignore that, because I want to show you the next mod. But, as I said, most things have had a reskin in this kind of like whole big Renaissance pack. If there's one I could recommend, definitely the Renaissance pack, because it's just that. It just makes the game to look that much nicer. But obviously, as I said, only if you can run it. So, I'm going to be showing you the next couple of mods. First off, we have the FASA mod. Now, I probably should have left this a little bit afterwards. But basically, what this mod does is it adds better launch clamps, including proper launch towers. Yes, you can now treat your Kerbal specially to his very own tower. Man, look at that. How many Kerbals get that? I mean, come on. That shows true Kerbal dedication to give him his own free tower. But basically what you can do is you can lead it down like that. If you wanted to, you could just fling it on somewhere. But pretty much there's all sorts of different things for this. As I said, shall I say. You can have all the different towers. There's the launch tower, there's the Umbilical Towers. These are the proper ones that kind of like move to the side, like the ones on the Saturn V. You do indeed have the real ones that we used at the bottom of the Saturn V, the Apollo ones. You also have the Redstone launch clamp, which are the ones that fit underneath solid rocket boosters or any engine you want. And then you have the Atlas launch clamp, which also fits to the side of a rocket. As you can see, that's pretty damn big. What I would recommend doing if you're going to do this is possibly putting something like the launch tower on there and then making it look like it kind of goes into it a little bit. But obviously I don't tend to use them that much, apart from the big launch tower, because that's nice. But I've turned off all the squad parts and I'm going to make a basic rocket just from this. This is the KW Rocketry pack. In my opinion, this has got to be one of the best excuses of a rocket pack ever produced. Hold on a sec. It mainly focuses on the larger rockets, however there are some smaller ones. I'm just going to turn on a few squad parts just to get stuff like decouplers. Now, as you see, some of the decouplers have been changed up. This was in the whole Renaissance pack. It was changed. As you can see, you can fit some on there. There are new in the KW Rocketry pack, new RCS pods, and different little SES units which actually wrap around the rocket itself. Yes, you can literally now wrap SAS around anywhere. You don't need to just have it like that, even though that's still what I do. There's no new parachutes or anything. This is mainly, as it states in the name, focuses on rocketry. However, there are some kind of like different things, like you have docking rings. new battery packs, which are actually quite snazzy and actually fit quite well onto the front of the Mark 1 capsule. As you can see, the panels have had definitely a little bit of a touch up on the changing. However, though, I tend to use these a lot more just because they are that bit more snazzy. We can fit a few more on if we really wanted to, but if we don't want to do that, no we don't. So if we actually have a look under the propulsion section, there are many engines. If we quickly turn off squad, there's pretty much this many engines. These are like different kind of like fuel adapters, which is pretty nice. Oh wait, is that actually a fuel tank? Oh, I know that. That's actually a fuel tank. Which is actually good, because normally in a rocket, you wouldn't just have like a part with no fuel in it. Well, apart from if it was like the top, of course. You would utilise every part, so to see, you can make a true proper nose cone or whatever. Which looks really nice. Now, there are many rockets, as I've said a million times now, including one of my favourites, which is pretty much like the standard rocket kind of thing. It just has some nice pictures on it, and as you see, you can also toggle the flag on there, which is nice. You can also reduce the amount of liquid fuel or maximise the amount of liquid fuel. It is up to you. Now, there are many new rocket engines as well, which is the main reason to download this pack today. Probably the best one is this one. This is the Wildcat 5. I mean, for these engines, by the way, not in general. You can have these, which in a way produces more. I don't know. It kind of looks a little bit strange with that. In my opinion, I prefer it to look all in one. So we're going to leave that one off. Actually, no, I tell you what, we'll shut that one on. Why not? Just as a treat. As I said, the only problem with this is it's more produced around kind of the edge of rockets, not really so much of stuff like decouplers. I mean, there isn't many decouplers in there, so you do indeed have to use your own decouplers. So we are now going to go extend it using one of the new parts. This is the 2.5 meter extender from the 1.25 meter fittings. This will fit on here. These are like the Rockermax sized fuel tanks. These are. You can get big ones or small ones. I tend to have one medium and one big. And then I put these on. Not that one. Not that one. Hold on. These on. Hold on. These on. Finally. These are the different kind of like engines you can have. These are the big 1900s. These just make the thing look so damn epic. So if we can fit one of those big stack separators, shall I say, as they're called on this, and then we shall make a big rocket adaptation. We should go from 3 to 2.5 to 3. Now there are indeed rockets for this. If I go find some stuff like this, these are more RCS fuels in them. These are just the standard ones you'd find. I don't normally have many of these if I'm going to have any at all. But these just support these kinds of engines. You see 5,000 thrust, 3,600, 1,400. Probably this one's the best going for. Now, recommended, you probably wouldn't have that stage there. I would kind of not recommend that. Or you just have this as your boosting section. I wouldn't really recommend going on much after that, but since obviously you're probably here for the bigger rockets, I shall show you them anyway. And to compensate for that, we'd remove that tank there and pop that in like so. So, as I've just said a second ago, there are like a few, as I said, stacked decouplers. It's just, oh heaven, I've probably seen all these. It's just that they're not like suitable 100%. I'd much prefer the standard decouplers. There we go, shove it up there. It might be a little bit glitchy being all the way up there that high. It might sway in the wind, which is obviously a big problem. But whatever, we can live. So this is honestly, this is the reason why I downloaded this pack. The 3.75 to 5 meter. The 5 meter parts. Yes, you've heard me right. 5 entire freaking meters. Yeah. Normally there's only 1 or 2 pieces actually from the NASA pack. If I just go and load that up, as you can see, nowhere near as big as this. This is massive stuff. This is honestly, this is just freaking huge. So if we go to have a look, we have the biggest fuel tank of them all. So big, in fact, it reaches down to the ground from a standard fitting. Bear in mind, this is a many-stage rocket so far. and it's probably not built to do this. Actually, to be truthfully honest, the whole game isn't built to compensate for rockets this big, but damn, freaking hell, whenever they add on, it's good. So we're not going to dilly-dally around too long. We're just going to freaking attach some jet things to this. We are indeed going to look at the Titan rockets. As you see, you had them before. They're tiny engines. We're now fitting the Titan engines. Actually, believe it or not, that's not a Titan engine. I did think that was. The proper Wildcat Titan engine. No, that's not it. Where are they? The Titan engines. Sorry about that. Or the Griffin Sentry engine. This has 11,000 maximum thrust. 11,000. Let me just say that again. 11,000. If we go into the mods and select the NASA mission pack, which has already been selected, then we look at that one. 3,200. You thought that was a fast engine. These 11,000. That's almost 4 of them in one of them. Freaking Jesus Christ. So, not only that, the whole pack does come with a certain damn good set of solid rocket boosters. Each pretty much equally as massive and obnoxious as they could be. As you can see, we have massive ones here, like the large utility motor. Now, bear in mind, these are pretty much the Separatrons of this pack. As you see, we can multiply them by 4. I like to generally have them down here on the side, so they're kind of like little extra boosting rockets. That's really my style. As you can see, we have many on here, though. We have stuff like the Thors, which if you thought they were big, dab, these, the Thor 2s, these are the massive ones. These are your big solid rocket boosters. If you want to build a proper freaking rocket, you've got to include them. You can fit nose cones on them. Perfect. Comes with it. It does indeed come with fairings. I do never touch these. These are glitches. How, honestly, in my opinion, if you want fairings, go for Procedural Fairings pack. They are so much more stable. However, though, it does also come with heavy strut connectors. Yes, you heard me right. Heavy strut connectors. Because normal strut connectors apparently are now no longer enough. So basically what we can do with these is just absolutely screw things up and just build this rocket humongously huge and then not have to worry about it falling over whatsoever. And I mean literally whatsoever. Probably once these things are installed, the rocket probably shits itself from falling over. Just bear that in mind. So we're going to fit a few of these on, make sure we're well hooked up and tucked in for the ride, and we shall test this thing in a second. I just have to make sure I've built this thing correctly. Yep. These are mainly used for SRBs in my opinion, that's why I tend to have them out the proper Apollo launch clamps. However, that's not enough. We need freaking umbilical towers. We need all the shenanigans. We need freaking, what are they called? Fins. Little finny things. You can have large fins. I mean, to be truthfully honest though, in my opinion, they just look like regular fins, just slightly a bit weirder. So, yeah, fun. Okay, so we are here at the launch pad with possibly, probably not the biggest rocket, probably one of the tallest rockets ever made, no doubtably, something like that. But yeah, I'm basically ready. So first of all, we're going to disconnect the launch tower. Off that goes. We're then gonna, listen to that. Lift off. Yes. Listen to them engine sounds. Hold on a sec. How cool is that? Oh my god. Seriously, the rockets on this mod, the KWR mod, sound so well done. They just sound so tasty and delicious, and honestly, I cannot think of a better mod that does sound better than this. Honestly, I cannot. It is amazing. Oh my god. Honestly, if you haven't downloaded this mod, I recommend this. Bear in mind, these are the big rockets. These are usually the ones that will be the slowest ones. I'm nearly at 300 meters per second now, thanks to the Rocketry Griffin Sentry. Using this, you could probably get a 3-man mission to Duna easily on one tank. You're not having to do any on rendezvous to refuel on the way there or whatever. You probably won't even have to do any of that if you just make this thing damn well. It's honestly, it's just going to be a pleasure for you to fly this thing. It is just so nice. Oh dear. So as you can see, we have our next group, which is this one. And now this is the Rocketry Griffin XX. Listen to that. Oh. Now this one's just designed just to push us that extra bit higher until we get onto our next stage. I am well aware there is actually a mod that lets you build outside of the actual restrictions of the actual Kerbal Space Vehicle Assembly Building. I am well aware of that. It's just I don't really choose to use that one because I honestly, up until possibly now, which I might download it, I honestly have had no use for it. And up until now, these KW Rocketry pack items. I'd like to say this is not advertising. I'm not being paid to do any of this. Just before anything creeps out about that. Whoa! Freaking Nora. You just gotta be careful with some of these rockets. They do take a while to slow down. Just a word of warning there. I don't think the big ones as well have... Oh, wait, they do have gimballing. Okay. So some of the bigger rockets as well do indeed have gimballing. So if you don't know what gimballing is, it's basically... thrust vectoring, or where the engine can move to help you turn better, depending on how much thrust you have, depending on how much better you'll probably end up turning. So let's just line it up and burn away. Burn, 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 burn. But freaking hell, this is such a nice rocket. And yeah, that was it for all the mods I have today. I will link them all, well, try to link them all in the description. It depends if I can find them all. I should be able to find them all. They can't be that tricky to find. I mean, they're a flaming Kerbal Space Program mod, and things don't really stay away, do they? So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll just leave you with this gameplay anyway of me launching this out in the way into the grateful abyss of space time. Let's just actually... Oh yeah, as I said, you do have to wait for these just to slowly shut down. I guess that does really do make... It makes the rockets definitely more realistic, and definitely, in my opinion, is a lot better, because then it actually balances out the rockets so you don't feel like you're cheating. Because honestly, if them big rockets were to stop instantly, then maybe I might have thought worse of this mod, just due to the fact that it'd be so damn easy. But honestly, I have no complaints with this mod, other than the fact the procedural fairings don't work for this mod. I'm sorry I haven't really shown off the procedural fairings. That's because they are quite buggy sometimes with rockets. If like rockets like these, if you want to build a big, tall, spindly rocket, honestly, do not use procedural fairings. Otherwise, it will just glitch out of it, and it'll just start to fling around. Make sure you strut up well and get ready for orbiting. Alright, let's go! As you see, they also do take a bit of time as well to thrust up, which is kind of nice. I actually do like the thing where it takes its time. Kind of a nice little... It doesn't mean it's just all pluses. Kind of has some negatives to it. So there you go. You there have the Nicarama 12, the Kraken, and Thor. Oh, hold on. Let's see. It slowly accelerates a little bit further. Thor 1. Naxxarama 11. From all of us, actually let me just show you quickly, which is this one. You see, look, this is a... Oh, look at that. Look at that beauty. Right, so anyway, as I said, thank you for watching. I will now go deorbit, and cheerio.